Hey everybody, Tony here with Nothing But Car Reviews, and today we're taking a look at a 2021 Aston Martin DBX, so let's get right into it. So this white on black Aston Martin DBX, just a beautiful look here. You have a 4-liter twin turbocharged V8 engine, made it with a 9-speed automatic transmission. That's getting you 542 horsepower, 516 pound-feet of torque in an SUV. And I mean, just look at how beautiful that thing is. That back end, gosh. Of course, you have the signature Aston Martin tail light there, dual exhaust. And then we can just pop the hood, or pop the lift gate by hitting this button right here. I just think these things are so cool. When you have a sports car with all that space there, and then we can even power fold the seats down from back here, and we can even raise the suspension over here up and down, so if you need more space or less space to put your groceries in or whatever, you can do that. And then we can just hit the hatch here, and we get passive keyless entry on all 4 doors. But just look at these body lines here. I love the matte black here, or the gloss black there, excuse me. You have the brushed aluminum here, and then you have more gloss black here. Really good look. But check out these 22-inch aluminum wheels. I mean, that is gorgeous. It's really nice. Let's go around the front here. We have our LED headlamps, LED daytime running lights. Just look at how aggressive this vehicle is. I love the grille here. Nice brushed aluminum. You have the Aston Martin badge there. You have 2 vents there for the engine, which I'm about to show you here. And there's that 4-liter twin turbo V8. Just gorgeous. And obviously that thing gets hot, and you can see why it's kind of got a heat shield all around it. But next, let's go ahead and take a look from the driver's seat. So really good feel here. I'm 6'3", and I have probably an inch or 2 of headroom, and that's even before the sunroof, so I'm really impressed with that. The seat hugs you on the sides to keep you, of course, bolstered in when you're driving something with this kind of power. And just the overall quality of the seats just feel really nice. You can tell this thing was handmade in Great Britain. Just feels incredible. But to the door panel here, we have auto one-touch up and down windows for the front and the back. And then we have our power mirrors here. Let me just cut down this AC, it's getting loud. And then, of course, we can open the door there. Part of our Aston Martin sound system, of course, is going to be state-of-the-art. So speaker here, speaker here. Then we have storage in here. And then over to the left side of the steering wheel, we have our electronic parking brake, which we press to engage, and then we pull back to disengage when our foot's on the brake. Then we have our headlamp controls and all that here. Now to the left side behind the steering wheel, windshield wiper controls, turn signals, and then we have a power tilt and telescoping steering wheel. And we can also heat by turning that way and then turn it off that way. And then paddle shifters right here on either side behind the steering wheel. But to the steering wheel itself, we have our cruise control, which we can toggle between just regular and adaptive. We can adjust the gap adjust for that cruise control using these buttons here, and of course we can resume and set the cruise there. Bluetooth controls here, voice recognition control here, home button for the gauge cluster, and then we can toggle through that using this here. And I like that you can actually adjust what's on the screen on that right gauge there. But then volume controls here. And next we're going to go ahead and take a look at the radio. So the seats for the driver and front passenger, you have 3 memory settings, and on top of that you have a power seat back, seat bottom. But what's awesome is you get power lumbar support, and then for the seat bottom itself, you've got a support there to actually kind of wrap your body or your bottom in the seat itself. So if you don't want to be sliding around or all that, you can adjust that, and I just think that is awesome. But we have our glove compartment here, and I love Aston Martin because even this book is fancy, just something from Britain. Just really nice, feels really nice, looks very fancy. But let's go ahead and take a look at this radio here. I'm going to start at the home page. So these are kind of your quick settings here. Main menu. These are your, you have tow away protection, a motion sensor. There's so much that you can explore here. But here we have our navigation system. Looks really good. Our radio. So with that, we have Sirius XM, then we have AM, FM, and then for our media, we have our Bluetooth, and then we can plug in a USB or a memory card as well. And there we have our Apple CarPlay. Now to the AC controls, you hit that menu button there, and then up here on the screen we can actually toggle our settings. So we can sync, turn the AC on, mess with the climate mode, and even mess with the rear airflow and all of that, set the temperature, blah, blah, blah. And then we have actual knobs down here, so if you want to change your display, you can just hit this here, and then it'll actually let you choose where you want the air to go. And then same thing with fan speed here. And then you can actually do it for the driver and the front passenger. So if you want to have it on your face and the passenger wants to have just the defrost on, you can do that. And then you can adjust the temperature on either side as well. So I really like that. But down here we have 3-stage heated and cooled seats for the driver and the front passenger. And then these are actual door lock buttons here, so we can lock, unlock there. And then our vents here, pretty nice. And this AC does get cold because this knob is freezing. But let me show you this backup camera. So we get our 360 view, and then our backup camera with guidelines. And there we have our front camera there. So while we're up here, let's take a look at this gear shifter here. Press P for park, press R for reverse, press M for neutral, press D for drive, and then we have our push button start here. Now we're gonna go back down here to where the shifter would normally be, but we have all these crazy functions here. We can lower our suspension, we can put our hill descent on, and then we have several drive modes. So terrain, terrain plus, GT, individual, sport, and it'll show you up here on this gauge cluster here, if you can get a quick look there, kind of how the gauges change based on what you're hitting. So your drive modes change, steering, all that, and then the suspension itself will actually adjust based on what drive mode you're in. So we can turn our lane keep assist on here, auto stop, parking sensors, then we can toggle that camera. And then over here we have our actual volume knob, and then we have that control that we actually use for the radio here. And then we can even use kind of a mouse setup for that radio as well. Now over here to the center console cubby space, we have 2 cup holders. Take a look at this key fob. I mean, just really, really fancy. And then here we have our actual center console cubby space, 2 USB ports, SD card reader, 12 volt here. And I love how it's kind of illuminated. It looks really nice. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at this panoramic sunroof. She might have to close the doors to get that to work. Oh, okay, it's backwards. So you didn't have to close the doors. You actually pull down on the button here instead of pushing up like you would think. And it's an all glass roof. It doesn't actually open. But I like just the one touch button to open and shut it. And it's a really good look. But next, let's go ahead and take a look at the rear seat. So I'm really impressed with this rear seat room. I mean, look at this headroom. I have about an inch or so there, but the leg room is awesome. And I have the seat in front of me adjusted for some of my size of 6'3", and then I'm sitting back here, really nice. But what's awesome is I have a vent over here, and there's one over there on the passenger side as well, which you might be able to see better. And then you also have vents down here where the rear AC controls are. So one here, and check this out. 3-stage heated and cooled seats for the back as well, and you can lock and unlock too, with 2 USB ports. And then we can control our actual AC here. So just really, really awesome. And then we have pockets back here on either side. You could probably fit something small in here, but they actually kind of fold out, which is cool. And then they'll snap back in. But let's check out the center seat. 2 small cup holders there. But just look at this craftsmanship here. You can tell all this is real leather. But with all that being said, I want to get to the fun part. Let's go ahead and take this Aston Martin DBX out on the road for a quick test drive. So overall, just driving down this road here, not a lot of people out, just a really comfortable ride, and even over the bumps, relatively smooth. But out of a $200,000 SUV, I wouldn't expect anything less. But the great thing is having this power at your fingertips. I mean, 562 horsepower, crazy. And just a really aggressive sound from this exhaust. I'm going to try and open it up just a little bit here. Oh, that backfire was awesome. Just a really, really exhilarating ride here. a typical Friday here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. It's just a hot mess out here driving, but if you're in something like this, you'll be all right. Oh, this thing has got so much power. So I really like in this GT setting just how easily this car, like everything is smoother. Definitely more of a luxury feel than that Sport Plus mode, but that Sport Plus mode was so much fun. And I was still comfortable, but this GT is just really smooth, really luxurious. And the ride is just great for this kind of car. I mean, it's great in general, but just for this to be a 562 horsepower SUV, an Aston Martin at that, really impressed. But overall, in terms of just visibility, I love how the hood is still really, really aggressive looking, but it's sloped down. I can see everything in front of me. No sight problems whatsoever. I'm not used to seeing that in a car like this. And you really do get really great luxury with this vehicle, but look, I'm just cruising at 45. I'm still getting 20 miles per gallon. When I put the cruise on, I'll show you. With 46, we're getting 24, 25 miles per gallon. We got a slight incline here, so it's going down a little bit, but that's really impressive out of a 4-liter twin-turbo V8. Especially in an SUV this heavy. But this is going to bring me to the end of my test drive portion of this Aston Martin DBX, and next I'm just going to give you my final thoughts and tell you about the price. So I want to thank Auto Collection of Murfreesboro for allowing me to review this awesome Aston Martin DBX today. As you can see, they have a pretty huge inventory of luxury cars, exotic cars, all the expensive stuff. So definitely, I'll leave a link below to this vehicle as well as their entire inventory in the description. But final thoughts on this DBX. I mean, for 180 grand, if I had it, I'd get it. I mean, this is just, it's a beautiful car inside and out. It's fast. Nobody else is going to have one of these out on the road. And I mean, it's an Aston Martin. It has all the luxury and performance amenities that you'd expect. So I definitely would recommend, if you're looking for something in this market, because this is going to be the cream of the crop. Only other competition is going to be the Urus right now. So with that being said, I want to thank you all for watching the video. Please make sure you like, comment if you have any questions, concerns, anything you want to say, and subscribe if you like what you saw today. Otherwise, I'll catch you on the next video.